Students of Success, Dr. Mike here. Hey, decided last night to take a ride up to my lake house here in western Pennsylvania to check in on it. And sitting here alone, I was really contemplating a lot on who I want to be. In my course, I have an assignment that allows us to kind of define that. Too many of us go through life and looking at other people, and we don't know who we want to be in any of those three areas. In our health, in our career, in our fitness. Think about it. In this assignment here, this is what I'd like for you to do. And this might take you a little bit of time, but let's just take health for instance. If sitting next to you right here was the person that you would trade places with immediately, what characteristics would they have? What disciplines, what principles they live by, what routine, everything about them. I want you to define this and write it down. I want you to create the winner, the hero, the person who you would want to be. Now what happens typically is we see these people out there and they're like our mentors or people we look up to, that type of thing. We need to become these people. In everybody's journey, everybody's hero is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have to tweak it. But in this assignment here, what I'd like for you to do, and write this down, is in your health, what routine, what time does this person get up in the morning? What do they eat for breakfast? What exercise plan do they have? Do they walk every day? How do they act? How do they hold themselves? How do they dress? What do they do every single day? Do they, imagine this person and imagine them with their shirt off, they're on the beach, they're who you look at and you admire. Okay? Every aspect of their life. You may have to do some research on this one because a lot of times we don't exactly know. And too many people in life don't know what they want. So they just go through and just live like a life that's just based on nothing more than just their day-to-day. And if we don't live our best life, it can really wreak havoc on our mental health. Because the results that you get, you're going to have to pay the price one way or another. Winners pay the price up front. Losers pay the price as consequences. So one way or another, you are going to pay the price. And the way it works is if you don't know, if the promise isn't big enough, you won't be willing to pay the price. Then we all of a sudden default back to the loser. Now here's the second part of this assignment that I think is the most powerful. So you have your winner here. We have everything about them on the list of who we want to be. Now, I'd like you to flip that and do the exact opposite. I want you to write down the loser, the person who lives exactly opposite of all the winners' traits. If he gets up at 5 a.m., the loser gets up at 9. If the winner eats a couple eggs for breakfast and starts on his gallon of water for the day, the loser eats 6 pancakes, some bacon, and orange juice and doesn't drink any water at all. He drinks soda throughout the day. You know, if the winner does push-ups in the morning, does his 10 sets of 100, the loser says, I'm not doing any push-ups. I don't feel like it. Because if you are waiting to feel good before you do these things, it's never going to happen. The one thing I can promise you is that once you do things, then you will start to feel better. If you're really focused on the feelings, and that's what the kind of a person you are, then you have to go and force yourself to do the disciplines to feel that feeling. So once you've got both of these people down, you got the winner and you got the loser. And it's in detail, so this might take you a couple days and some time. You have to decide right there, who do you want to be? And you can't take a middle version. You can't say, well, I'll take a little bit from the winner and I'll take a little bit from the loser. Because you only have one life. I was sitting here last night and I was thinking this, you only have so many days. You don't know if tomorrow's your last day. The most powerful thing in my life now, at 50 years old, is the feeling of regret. It makes me feel claustrophobic. It makes me feel just insane, and it's scary to think of regret. It's not the things that you do that you regret. It's the things that you don't do that are your biggest regrets. If you do not design this ideal person and start to move in that direction, the only guarantee I can give you in this process is that you will have regrets. And so many people fake it, like, I'm out of shape, I'm fat, I can hardly walk up a set of stairs, I can't do things with my kids, and they blame it on bad knees or a bad back. Well, you probably have bad knees and you have a bad back because you're out of weight and you don't take care of yourself. I've had 5 major back surgeries, and it has not stopped me to this point. Does it slow me down a little bit? Does it hurt? Absolutely. But the fear of regret is way more painful to me than it is. So you got to start focusing on that fear, that pain of regret. So get these people both down, and then, I've talked about this before, make a choice. Everything in life comes down to the choices we make. Are you going to choose to go the winner's path, or are you going to choose to go the loser's path? And once you get your health one down, then start on your career. Same thing. The main area of focus is that daily routine. What's the daily routine of somebody who has the exact job, the exact career, the exact amount of money, everything about them? It's like everything works perfectly for them, and they're sitting next to you, and you're just in amazement of them. Become that person. Define every single detail of their life and start becoming them. My book, Becoming Employable, everything is a process. Becoming. We can't get there immediately. We have to pay the price. We have to become it. We can't just think it. We can't just start to write things down and not become it. We have to start working towards it. And then when you get to relationships, and when I talk about relationships, I'm not talking necessarily about all these friends and things you have. I'm talking also about the relationship you have with yourself. Do you like yourself? Do you like who you are? Are you more worried about what everybody else thinks about you? Because typically we are who we think other people think we are. And I want you to really think about that, because we start to think of the person that we are based upon how we think other people think we are. We're like, oh, that person thinks I'm a loser. We have no idea. You may be living off a completely false reality. And even if somebody does think those things about you, who cares? Live your best life. In your relationships, I'm talking about the relationship you have with your family, with your wife, with your husband, with your kids. Is that where your main focus is? Or is your main focus on going and hanging out at the bar with 5 friends, drinking every night, being part of different clubs and organizations, and neglecting your family, neglecting them financially, neglecting them in your health? These all connect together, because if you are the loser in your health, you cannot be the winner, the hero in your career or in your relationships, because all 3 of these things, they all mesh together. So be the best that you can in each of those areas, and you will start to live a life that is magical. Magical. I started on this journey a couple years ago, and the revelations they keep coming and coming and coming. And when you start to dial in that daily routine, I'm making this morning, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up, I'm ready to go. Most of the people out there still have 4 hours, especially on a Saturday morning, or 5 hours of sleep. Well, that's 4 or 5 hours that I'm ahead. I'm ahead in my health. I've already done my push-ups. I've already drank my water. I've had my 3 eggs in the morning time. I've wrote in my book. I've done my journaling already. I'm already ahead of the game. Now I have the rest of the day to start focusing on other things to be able to keep pushing me. So with that said, I always conclude with there are only so many tomorrows. So if you want to live your best life now, design it and become. Take care, guys.